Full face, baby. Yeah, I bust down, Tatiana. Yeah, I want to see you bust down. Bust down, Tatiana. Bust down, Tatiana. I wanna see you bust down. Pick it up, now break that shit down. Break it down, speed it up, now slow that shit down. On the gas, slow it down, bust it. Bust down, bust it, bust it, bust down on the gang over. Bust down, Tatiana, bust down, Tatiana. I wanna see you bust down. Pick it up, now break that shit down. Break it down, speed it up, now slow that shit down. On the gang, slow it down, bust it, bust down, bust it, bust it, bust down on the gang over. Blue face, baby. Yeah, I'm every woman's fantasy. Mama always told me I was gonna break hearts. I guess her fault. Stupid. Don't be mad at me. You better me. I wanna see you bust down. Bust down. Bend that shit over on the deck. Yeah, make that shit clap. She threw it back, so I had to double back on the gas. On the gas, smacking high off the drug. I tried to tell myself 2 times enough. Then the nigga relapsed on the dead lows. You know, running shots. I'm gonna take you.
What up? What's up, MJ?
You should play her, Tatiana, like you ain't never even heard.
Get that boy, you know you get that boy.
Tatiana, I want to see you bust down, that shit up. I took that thing up.
What up?
Throw that shit back.
What's up, bro? How's everybody doing out there?
See you bust that over, pick it up, now break that shit down, break it down, speed it up, now slow that shit down on the gas, slow it down, bust it.
What is up? Everybody in the building, Stephen Cushington. What up, man?
How's it going, man?
It's going well, doing well. Really excited for this episode. Welcome to another episode of Unfiltered Reptiles Podcast. Before we get started, please do us a favor. Support this channel anyway. Give us a subscribe, like, share, choose a comment. All that great stuff. And then
subscribe, rate 5 stars.
All that good stuff.
Download.
Give us the kind of stars that this company gets. That's Cold-Blooded Cafe.
On Spotify and all those places and shit. Downloads here and there. Listen on one platform. Download it everywhere. Support the wave.
Support the culture.
The culture of Unfiltered.
Culture. Nick, I was saying until Stephen cut me off. Shout out to Cold-Blooded Cafe. www.coldbloodedcafe.com. Freshest and the bestest produce rodents that could get delivered to your doorstep. $30 flat rate shipping. Is that still over now? I know you guys had a crazy sale recently. I don't know
that sale is still going on. I don't think that is promoted enough. The sale is not a 1-week thing. We have almost every size available on our website, still at sale pricing right now. So go to coldbloodedcafe.com. Check out best deals on the best rodents in the industry. $30 flat rate shipping.
Yep. And to be clear, you can only get Cold-Blooded Cafe at www.coldbloodedcafe.com. Yes. Nowhere else can you get that product. So make sure you please visit the website and make sure you get the freshest and the bestest to your doorstep, man. But hey, tonight we have yet another female guest we are bringing to the table. Super excited about the guest. She's very close to us. One of the team members, dude.
How does that work?
You work very close to this lady whenever she swings by the farm, which has been quite often, right? She comes by,
Yeah.
She's
been working 4 or 5 days a week for sure now. So yeah, huge.
And then
huge part of all this.
CFO Lars comes through and kind of cleans shit up. And,
exactly. Everyone's on their best behavior when Lars is here.
I wouldn't even make eye contact with him unless he's smiling or laughing. I'll just do. But yeah, I'm loving seeing the stories and stuff like that and whatnot of seeing Desiree visit the farm with Lars and whatnot. So without further ado, man, I give you our captain, man, of the team. This is Desiree Monnot. How are you, Dezzy Dez?
I'm doing good, MJ. How are you?
I'm doing good. Right here with your boy Stephen Cushington, Bubbington.
What's up, Chris? Hi.
It's crazy. You guys are in the same building, but not in the same room. Am I right?
Not exactly.
No, different buildings.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the compound here. There are a multitude of standing structures not connected.
I don't know if this was premeditated, but I like your shirt there, Desiree. Let's see. Oh, Stephen has one as well. What do you know?
Oh, and who else has them? Nobody? Is nobody the answer? Oh, nobody is the answer. Oh,
This is what you call official teamwear right here, okay? So these are uniform shirts. They are not released to the public yet. We're talking about it.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I'll do my best,
you
guys.
You gotta be VIP list to get these, if that.
Or some sort of Ed Marino or Ryan Wollesson or something like that.
Like in 15 years,
if you
like you're buying these on
an animal that I can't otherwise get, I might throw you in it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Toss Ed Marino. Ed Marino, toss our girl right here a tracking number of a basin. You'll get yourself a shirt for sure. You'll get one in
these
inside.
On auction in like 15 years, like $500. These are collector's items.
Super classy. I think almost any Zoo Dream shirt will be at that point because we're not going to just keep pumping these out and releasing them.
No, this is limited edition type stuff right
here.
1 second.
Hi.
Hi, Des. This is real important for the podcast for MJ to leave.
Sorry.
Yeah, right.
I have unfortunately, dude, my dogs. I can't if I'm talking and then they're barking, it just throws me off. And Lily's not here right now, so I'm a little upset with her. She's supposed to be in charge of that, so I'll deal with her later. Just kidding. That was a joke, babe. So Desiree, Monnot in the building, man. Desiree, dude, fucking the creator, one of the creators of Zoo Dreams. I mean, let's be honest. You were there from the start. You were there from the fucking beginning of all this, and where you're at now. Obviously, you have to have some sort of love for animals. That was this something that went back as you were a kid, or like kind of take us back, pre-Desiree, Zoo Dreams, basically. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I grew up in Rapid City, South Dakota, same place as Forrest. And so I was always out in the woods and looking for salamanders. Actually, that was my favorite thing to look for with my sister. And then one of my good friends gave me a tree frog for my birthday when I was like 8. So I kept a tree frog for a while. I'd make my dad bring me crickets and that whole thing. And then one day he's like, comes home and he has this dog, and I was like, where's my crickets? And he's like, shoot, I forgot the crickets. And I'm like, well, get your ass back down there and get my damn crickets. I gotta feed my frog. And he's like, but don't you like the puppy? And I'm like, it's cute, but no, I need those crickets now. And then a couple years later, well, I guess maybe more like 8 years later, I met Forrest when I was about 15. And he had a Burmese python, an albino female, and this thing was fully grown, probably like 13 feet or so. And I thought it was pretty cool. I was a little scared of it because I didn't really have a lot of snake experience at the time. So kind of just had that for a little while. And then when we turned 18, we wanted to move to Florida. And that's kind of where all that began. Previous to that, I've mentioned it before, and so had Forrest, but Reptile Gardens was about 5 minutes from my family's house. So we would go there all the time and look at all the reptiles, and it's such a fun place to be. And now I'm really close with the curator, Terry Phillip, and it's kind of like a second home in my hometown. So anyways, Florida, we had a ball python in an aquarium and a little boa, a little red-tailed boa. So that was the first snakes we had. And I helped them take care of it. I remember one time we lost one of the ball pythons in the bathroom and got under a cabinet. So his big idea was to put a rat out and see if we could get this thing to come out. It actually worked. So I had a rat on my bathroom floor for a few days, and this thing finally came out, and we got it back in the cage.
You put a pre-killed rat just right there on the floor and just
waited it out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, didn't really know what we were doing at the time, but
it's better than fucking what are the remedies I looked up was fucking pour bathing powder on the floor and put a trash bag and you could you see
how the snake's moving and shit.
Yeah, so you can see where the snake's moving, which is cool, but do you want to fucking really pour baby powder all over your floor and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you see a snake move one way, how do you know that had just happened? It probably happened hours ago. You know what I mean? Either way, that's probably good thinking because I mean, what else is going to attract the snake? I heard sometimes leaving a small thing of water too, because they're actually thirsty a lot too. So either kind of like maybe a tub of water or a rat. So I mean, depending. Did you guys place Reek pretty bad? I mean, you said you had that rat for a couple of days.
I mean, maybe it was one day, MJ. Shit, this is when I was 18. I don't remember. I just remember losing the ball python in my bathroom and getting it out with a food source. So
damn,
something like that.
That probably made using the restroom pretty difficult.
Oh, this is nothing compared to when I was 16 and I would come to his house and he kept his 13-foot snake in his bathroom. Like, I'm like, why? You know, this thing would like live in the shower and then, you know, you'd go in the bathroom and you're like hoping like it like doesn't come out. And then he finally got like a legit housing for it. But for the first like couple days, I was like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm not even going to ask how long that snake was living in that bathroom for. Well,
I don't remember.
No judgment. It's all good. People do it. People fuck up.
I think it was his first like legit snake. I'm like, you got to start with one that big, like, and I saw it like come towards him and stand up and like do one of those on his chest. It didn't bite him, but it definitely was like bluffing or whatever.
You guys got into venomous for a while too, right?
We never like owned any venomous. We just worked Robbie's collection, and then we've had venomous lizards like the Gilas and beadeds. And I guess we had like a boaga for a minute. I didn't say that right, but
yeah, say that again, please, because I have that on.
So Des says it, then MJ says it, and then I correct both.
Boaga. It's boaga.
Oh no, it's not Bayoga anymore.
Boaga.
I never said Bayoga.
You said it all the time.
That sounds like a French fucking
My
cracker.
A's and O's are really messed up.
Sounds like something you get with a French onion soup.
A baguette.
A baguette.
Okay. South Dakota is basically Canada, so you can't expect them to talk right.
It is pretty close to Canada, right?
Yeah,
Hey.
it's the same thing.
I don't know. I lived pretty close to Canada for about 4 years. I went to Bellingham, Washington, and even the people who lived closer to Canada never really spoke like Canadians. So I don't know if I could back you up on that one, Steven.
I've been there. I know.
I think. So Des, let's talk a little bit more about pre-zoo dreams, Desiree. So as a kid, obviously you were more into reptiles and puppies.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah. Because I kind of was too, but then dogs always ruled in my world, always. But then like reptiles were a huge part. Like my first actual pet was a reptile, was a ball python.
Yeah.
And then my sister's was an actual dog, which was the family's dog, but that was like her thing. So you were like, "No, Dad, where the fuck's my crickets?" You wanted to get your frog fed, and that's awesome because that's kind of how I was. You know, I was very passionate about making sure my animals, taken care of and whatnot. But dude, there was a lot of trial and errors growing as a kid. Period. I mean, did you have more than a tree frog like soon after than you?
No, I just okay. So where I lived, it was like in the national forest, like no houses around. There houses now, but in my neighborhood, it was just all woods. Like my parents would make us go outside. Like you didn't have internet there yet. I didn't have a phone yet. Like I had no way. No tablets, none of that. So I spent like a lot of my childhood outside, and we would go find these little creeks, and we'd look for salamanders. Like that was our favorite thing to find.
Yeah, I love fucking
salamanders.
And
occasionally we'd find snakes, and we wouldn't really mess with them because we had a lot of rattlesnakes out there. So we were just told, not to pick them up, just observe them and see them and let them be. And but yeah, tons of frogs. We'd always find frogs everywhere. And I don't know. I was an outdoors kid, so I was always just taking my bike, riding around, and swimming a lot, looking for stuff.
If you think about it, like I know a lot of people nowadays, right? They do what they have to do to get the kid to chill out. A lot of people toss a tablet in their hands, right? And that's not that that's a bad thing, give or take. I've seen like people trying to enjoy their dinners, their kids fucking losing it, and the tablet gets them off of it. I think that's an important tool. But when you're using it all the time at home and shit, like I will instill like wilderness shit to my kid from the get-go. Like they better know about looking for shit outside. I don't care if there's no animals. Go find me the coolest rock. How about that? Like
right, yeah. I actually did that too. We'd look for rocks and we would paint them with nail polish and then try to sell them. No joke.
Everything sounded cool until you said that part, and I was like, "Whoa!" Selling fucking painted rocks.
Selling rocks for an early age.
Yeah, dude.
Don't do that, kids. Do not sell rocks.
Not those kind of rocks, you fuck. These were Quartz Canyon rocks, okay, from the Black Hills, South Dakota.
I smoke rock.
Fuck
okay.
yourself. Okay, next question, please. I'm kidding.
She's wrong. She's not kidding. This is
but tablets. So my thing with Lars was I was not gonna ever put the television on, and I did it for a whole full year. Like I never played shit for him. Like the only thing he ever watched is music videos.
And that was Blueface.
He does love Blueface. Yeah, so that was all Forrest though. Like Forrest would be the one playing the freaking hip hop on the YouTube, you know. So get a little Red Bull. And anyway, so not until like super recently when I've had to be alone with him have I like turned on TV. And we went through the whole series of the Magic School Bus because I thought it was like educational. And like I just like really pick out the things that I turn on for him. And it's mostly because I have to take a shower and he's in his like play area and I put it on as kind of like a distractor. But I don't want to like use tablets as much as possible. So I am trying to work on his behavior and bring him here a lot. Like he gets to do a lot of outside time, and so we'll see. I mean, time will tell. He's only one, you know. Yeah,
right. Exactly. It's day by day, and like the thing is, like, I feel like it's an important tool to use. Like, nothing against parents that use this shit with their kids from till they're born till they're 15. Because I've seen kids like even 10, 11 years old that are still their faces are attached to the tablet, and it's like, yo, you're 10 or 11 years old now. You don't need a freaking tablet to get your shit together.
I mean, they've linked autism to too much screen time too. So I don't know.
Vaccines too.
What
was that, Steven?
Vaccines too.
Vaccines. Frick off, Steven. Let's not go down that road right now.
What did he say? I didn't hear what Steven said.
About
vaccines.
Causing autism in kids.
Oh,
like
vaccines.
Vaccines, like the typical causes of autism.
The big one is the big one is females during pregnancy being too heavy with fat content is the big one that I've heard. So I don't know. I have a bachelor's in nursing. I used to follow this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Your bachelor in nursing. So let's speed up to your educational stuff. You graduated high school, right?
Yes. And I made Forrest get a GED.
Because Forrest didn't graduate high school,
right?
No,
he was an 8th grade dropout. My parents were like, "What the hell are you doing with this? Blah blah blah, rebellious kid." He was a tough one, but no, I made him get his GED. I was like, I don't think my parents are gonna let me be with you unless you have an education. So he did that. I graduated a year early from high school because he was like so anxious to get out of South Dakota, and he convinced me to like take summer classes for high school. And like the day I turned 18, we bounced to Florida and got out of there. And I started my first degree, which was psychology, and I was doing that for a while. And then we moved into a couple different cities, and I just kept transferring to different colleges and moving my credits over. And then in 2009, I graduated with my bachelor's in psychology in Las Vegas. And at that point, Forrest had gotten really into reptiles, and that's where he met Cody Bartolini. And so we had like, I think our first group of breeder animals was ball pythons. We had 30 adult females that we, who did we pick those up from? He's up in Utah.
Now, were these, you got all these, you got these all
Jeremy? What?
Jeremy Stone, maybe?
Yeah, Jeremy Stone. Yeah. So we bought proven breeders from Jeremy Stone. We got like 30 females. And then he started buying like, males that he wanted to pair with. They were really, him and Joe Perkins and Cody were into the yellow belly gene. So that was what they were doing with ball pythons. And then the chondros came in. So they got really heavy into chondros. And then I think it was our first rental house in Reno, because we lived in Reno for a minute before we moved to Vegas. But in Reno, we built our first rodent rack. And so we had all those adult females to feed. And he decided this was getting expensive to buy feeders. Let's just breed our own. And he had come from a farming family in South Dakota. So he was all about it. And he loved the rats. And our first dog, Daisy, was beyond into it. So Forrest and Daisy just would stay in the garage all night, just cleaning rats and just be super into it. Meanwhile, I'm in school and I'm highly allergic to them. So I just wouldn't do shit with the rodents ever. And I'd occasionally help them clean snakes if I didn't have schoolwork to do. And it just kind of, after I graduated in Vegas, then we spent some time in Alaska, saved some money. I worked in a behavioral hospital with my degree, which was really cool and rewarding, and saved a bunch of money, moved back to Florida and started our rodent business then. That was 2012.
So Cold Blooded Cafe was established in 2012.
No, it was Forest Fanning Reptiles is the actual company name, and then RepTek and Cold Blooded Cafe are just DBAs under that.
Okay.
So yeah, we actually were wholesale only for a long time, and mainly just breeding and growing the colony and just selling to our friends and close people in the neighborhood and stuff of Florida. And then once we got to Indiana, we started getting a little bit more retail minded. Forrest was really against it for a long time. He was just all about packing these big orders and just shipping it out and just having one customer and not dealing with all the little stuff. Right. And then Levi Cranston and his wife came up here, and they were gonna buy into the company with us and be a part of it, and had some ideas. And that's actually where Cold Blooded Cafe came from. Levi and Forrest and Sarah and I one night were just collaborating on names of what it would be. And of course, Forrest was Cold Blooded Cafe. And we're all yes, that's so dope.
That is a good name. I'm going to say that's probably the hardest name. I'm not just saying that because they're the but I'm saying that's for sure one of the hardest fucking rodent names.
Yeah, we threw a bunch of shit out before he finally said something. And then Levi actually drew that logo. That's the original logo. It hasn't been changed since, and blue is my favorite color, so we went with that.
The only other thing I could think that'd be cooler than cafe is buffet.
So on Instagram, for the business page, it's what are you retail store or this or that? We have deli on ours. Mm-hmm. So we're a delicatessen over here.
A delicatessen.
High class delicatessen.
Yeah, boys.
Yep. Premium USDA meat.
Certified.
USDA approved. Certified. So Desiree got education going on. She got her bachelor's.
Yeah.
You got to use that for a little bit, right? Two bachelors, right? Pretty balling. At what points did you sacrifice what you're doing with your degree to just fully do what you're doing now?
So we were living in Eustis, which is Central Florida area. Right after we worked with Robbie for a while, we met Terry Cullen and got on the board of the Dragonwood Conservancy. So Forrest was the vice president of that, right. Which they gave that position to me. So now I'm doing that with them, which is huge because I love crocodiles, and Terry's a great mentor to me still. So Eustis, right? Okay, so Forrest was in Eustis, and then I got accepted to nursing school in Tampa, and it was a year-long program. It was just the accelerated program since I already had a 4-year degree prior, so they had that kind of like jump too. So I got my nursing degree in 1 year. Definitely the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and at that point. And then once I graduated, Forrest had already moved to Indiana, and he'd been here for a few months already and was getting really heavy into the breeding of the rodents and keeping the reptiles here. And he got to the point where he hired an employee, and he was just like stressing out, like, I can't handle this. Like, you got to get here. Like, I need you here. And I begged him to let me stay in Tampa, finish my, I got my degree, and then I needed to like get my license, you know, my RN to actually become a nurse. And he's like, no, just take the test here. You know, you'll be fine. Like, it's really just kind of a backup if something ever happened. Like, you know, you're going to make way more money in a couple months than you will your whole salary. So I was like, all right, fuck it. So I decided to go up to Indiana and jump right in. And so from like 2013 until now, I was fully involved in it. Rodent-wise, reptiles, all of it. I got here and I waited 3 months to take my test, and I failed. And then I waited another couple months, tried it again, failed again, failed it a third time. And I finally got so discouraged, and I was just like, all right, I'm just going to put this on hold for a while and like do this family business with him. It was really frustrating, honestly, because it was something I was really excited to do. And like, I love medicine. I love like all of it. So like any vet stuff that we do here, like really gets me going, even though it's shitty that an animal might be sick, but like, I love going to the vet and like doing the proper care for them and stuff. And Forrest hated needles, so he'd never want to do any care for a sick animal. So that ended up being my specialty. I love taking care of those animals. But back to that, and that's when I found out I was like highly allergic to rats. Is I was sitting in the office, and we were in one warehouse where the rodents were in the one area, and it was coming through the vent system. And like, I started having this like asthma attack and a like really bad anxiety attack. And I was like, oh my God, I think I need to go to the hospital. And I left, and I calmed myself down, and I'm like, maybe I'm allergic to rodents. So I went to the doctor and found out that I'm like 4 times the like normal for being allergic to rats, more so rats than mice. So that was gay. I mean, shitty. That was shitty.
What is it? The actual like hair on a rat, or what?
The
what
oil.
Is
it's their oils, yeah. And
if you wear gloves and shit, you're fine.
No, I had to wear a mask and a glove all the time. So
damn.
I ended up becoming. I got tested and I got the allergy shots. So they put me on those, and I could still never work the live stuff. Like, I could walk through the barn and like, you know, talk to the employees and figure out what they're doing and make sure they're doing their job. But like, I rarely would clean rodents. I could handle like cleaning some like the mouse room occasionally, because mice weren't as bad. And then I ended up doing what we call the sort. So whenever we'd euthanize everything, we'd bring it all into another room, and I would train everyone how to size and bag everything and how to freeze it. And so yeah, every night I would be done and just like barely be able to breathe. So I definitely sacrificed to get this going where it should be. And on top of that, I had a shitload of reptiles, because Forrest loved collecting reptiles. So he would do his share, I would do my share. More so, I would be doing a lot. He kind of liked to manage from above, so a lot of that got put on me.
When did things go from like, okay, cool, we're collecting reptiles, to like, okay, we're collecting the rarest reptiles? Like,
yeah,
like how did what? I mean, what was that transition like?
Yeah, I guess it's, you know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Like, definitely when we were here, because he decided that he wanted to breed corn snakes one time. And he's like, I just got a shipment of 150 females. and I need you to figure out how to do this. He'd always put this shit on me.
Oh my god.
Contrary to what everyone might think.
I was gonna say, Steven, that kind of relates to you, right? Putting shit on you immediately, and you're just like,
hey, come here and just do this. Oh wait, do this. Oh wait, do this. Oh wait, do this. Oh wait, do everything. Hey, do it all better. Hey, you suck.
By the way, we just bought this.
when he begged me to come here is when he, quote unquote, was burning out. Like, I give him props. Like, he started this thing from nothing, from the beginning, you know, in like 2010. So for like 3 or 4 years, it was all him, balls to the wall. He did it all, like, had no help. Like, God bless him. Like, he did it. Like, he made it. And then he got to this point where he's just like, all right, I can't anymore. Like, so then he started guiding me. Like, he would teach me, guide me. Negatively, positively, like being a spouse and working with someone is really hard. Like, you want to feel like you're equal with them, not like I'm your employee husband mentality. So that was kind of like a struggle that we had to, you know, to work out, and we made it work. And I'm super proud of him for getting it here. But back to those corn snakes, that there was a lot. And he only wanted scaleless males. And so we bought a shitload of scaleless males. And then I ended up having like 500 babies one year. It was just out of control, trying to keep up on that. And then he realized, like, okay, I think I should get out of this. Sold that off. And then I think I can't even remember the first monitor. But once he started getting into monitors is when he decided, like, he wanted to start getting the rarest of the rare. And then the Abronia.
That's kind of wild that you're stating that by the time you commuted up to Indianapolis, he was already tapped out. Like, he was burnt out. Here's what you're telling me, right?
Yeah.
And then soon after that, he gets into the most rarest shit that you could possibly buy to make your life even more of a fucking, like, that's wild to me. That's just
yeah, I mean, he was here, and like, he would just, you know, be like, he didn't clean shit or change waters or feed or anything. He was more like just like the overseer, which, you know, he deserved that. Like, he made it, like, he built this, you know, he got there. And I loved it. Like, I loved getting all the new stuff in, but sometimes I'd be like, you know, God damn it, Forrest, like, do we really need that? And where are we going to put it? And, you know, we got big quick. And then, not to mention trying to run this whole rodent thing, you know. So I guess that's where it came in. Like, if it was just reptiles, like, it would have been smooth. But like, running a rodent company and then having all these reptiles over here to like take care of, that was super stressful. And yeah, you know, and just like knowing that I gave up doing nursing because I wanted to go get my master's and do a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and I specifically wanted to work with the youth and with young kids, and that was like my big dream. But I put that on hold, and
not really,
really involved.
You're like, you kind of have an internship. You work with Steven. That's a youth right there.
Exactly. Yeah, I am his therapist. No, but I mean, I literally, like, this was like 7 years ago, you know, when I graduated. So I've had like 7 full years of just rodents and reptiles, and now it's all I know. Like, it's 100% my life, and I love it. And I have these amazing blue tree monitors back there crawling around, checking me out, and like, there's nothing cooler than that. Just like sitting in these reptile rooms and observing these really cool animals. So yeah, I don't regret any of it.
No, you shouldn't.
No.
Because like, you're just like a natural what you're doing too. Like, you know, Steven, we could tell Steven's his natural what he does. You know, Forrest was a natural in his fucking world. And then, you know, just talking to you, Desiree, and you know, like, what's a fucking you post? I mean, you know, what's the snakes that you choose to post are by far the most fire snakes. You know your animals really well, I feel like.
Yeah.
That yellow spotted fucking tree frog or whatever, a tree toad. That thing is,
yeah.
That's okay. So Josh, is it Josh's tree frog?
Josh's frogs. Josh's frogs.
I'm on a waiting list for that, by the way.
Yeah, I got her maybe 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago.
You like that thing, Steven?
Bella.
That's cool. Definitely.
Yeah, she's awesome. I had a male for her, and I got them to like breed and whatnot, and I think she like dropped the. I know nothing about breeding them, but like
I heard it's hard.
it's really hard. Yeah, I had like a water chamber kind of setup thing for him, and I thought I saw something happening. I don't know, and then he would never get off her. Like he was on top of her for months and months and months. I'm like, I think I need to separate him. Like this, she's not eating. This does. I don't know what's happening. So. Made a fatal mistake and put him in a too small of an enclosure with too hot of a lamp. So
he got cooked.
He got cooked. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I was super sad because that was one of those projects that like I did, you know, like Forrest would buy everything and do everything. And like I begged him for baby black dragons forever. And now I have some coming, but, so no, but the tree frog was my thing. I love that. And I definitely want to get another male again and set it up properly and do it properly because they are really hard to breed. And like Josh's frog is really like selective on giving you any information about it. Like I've tried, but Ryan McVeigh has had success. So I've been working with him now on setup and yeah, they're doing it over there. Yeah.
Oh, at his zoo that he worked
at Zilla. Yeah. Yep, and then I had a trio of poison dart frogs that Forrest accidentally killed when I was out of town. But I let him get too cold.
Add it to the list.
Forrest had the daily death counter. It's like, hey, what died?
Oh yeah, that was his big thing. He'd be like, what died today? I'm like, oh hey, how are you doing? I'm doing good too.
I need the death count.
Yeah, we wanted to know.
I racking this bitch. Just fucking. So, as far as right now, Desiree, your involvement with the projects, as far as breeding and stuff like that, how involved are you and Steven? I mean, do you guys come together with ideas, or right now? I mean,
yeah.
As far as future. Want to add or what's going on with that?
Yeah, we definitely collaborate on all of it. When he moved here, he brought all his animals, so everything's combined right now. And we've talked about different stuff we want to let go or keep or add to, and it's really exciting because I think both of us had our dream animals that we wanted to do, and Forrest was really selective on what we got, and we wanted. I know Steven wanted to get into these rock pythons one time at a show, and Forrest was up in the hotel room, and we're like, "Hey, we want to get these." He's like, "No, you can't," and we're just like, "What? No, we're just gonna buy them." Just stupid shit like that. But I feel like we have more freedom now to do what we want to do, like the black dragons. Like I literally wanted them for so long, and he kept telling me that that Vital had them for him, and he was waiting for the specific genetics and this and that, and it never panned out. And so then Corey just hatched some babies, and I picked up a pair. So I'm beyond excited to have these monitors that I've wanted. I met my first black dragon. I would say like 2012, and it was like fully grown. His name was Leroy. He was a famous one. He had his own like Facebook and everything, and I fell in love with it. And I was like, I have to have this. Like this is
so awesome.
I have to have this animal.
His Corey has some nice ass black dragons too. You're gonna be so happy.
Yeah, dude. I just watched his videos the other night, sexing and shipping them and stuff. So
shout out to Corey at Toothless Reptiles of San Diego. That's my boy.
Episode 5.
Episode 5?
5 or 6.
It was
I don't know.
On the new channel, right?
I say we bring him on again and say fuck it.
Fuck it.
Let's call him right now. Hey.
So funny, man. That's a good guy right there, dude. And I'm really stoked that you're getting black dragons. That's definitely a dream monitor of mine. Not in that department yet, but someday you never know. I fuck with those heavy. Are you excited to get those in, Steven, and work with them?
Oh hell yeah, yeah! I used to work with water monitors at my old job, and haven't since then. And they're they're really different and in their own way. They're almost like the Burmese python of the monitor world. You know, they're like the OG, been here since the early days, bred the most. You know, big, not quite the biggest, but have really good attitudes generally. Except early days working with wild caughts, as it is with almost every species. And then the black dragons were initially a full subspecies where that coloration they had in the wild was just a recessive mutation. The black dragon, then there was crossed, and now that was pure. I think, if my memory serves me properly, it's Varanus salvator comeni or Varanus comeni. I don't know if there was a full species or not. Taxonomy probably doesn't, in all honesty. But that pure subspecies has essentially been lost, unfortunately. They were like a dwarf variety almost. But now you have these big Salvatore black dragons that are, that black gene. And I could be totally wrong. This is just my understanding of it.
We should have talked about it with Robbie, because Robbie was the first one to bring them in, the real black dragons, and he had a lot to say to me about them.
Yeah.
When I told him that I got these.
But either way, they're super freaking cool. Multi-generation captive bred, socialized monitors. Water monitors, when you do it right, are definitely one of the more rewarding monitors to keep, just because of how interactive they are. So I'm pretty excited about them.
Yeah.
A lot less conditioned like a tree monitor, a croc monitor, like what we have generally.
Those black tree monitors are so sick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, black dragon's just like a larger, thicker body black tree monitor.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're super freaking cool.
You guys might have some being bred this year, am I right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm, every day looking at that female green tree monitor, like, when does she get really skinny? And I start digging through the cage before the males start digging for me.
Yeah.
But green trees, blue trees, and black trees are the three that if we, could potentially produce this year.
Yeah.
I want to bring up a topic real quick, just because, it's something that's been brought to my attention, since we lost Forrest, and I'm sure you guys fucking had to hear, or have had people come across you and ask you this too, but what's the deal with dealing with people asking you what you guys are going to let go of, or,
Well, I mean, it was unbelievable. Honestly, it was something that was really upsetting. Like, you just think, it really was very much like almost kind of taking advantage kind of vibe to it. Like, oh, well, we can help you out by taking animals off your hands. It's like, did we offer? Did we say
I think
we need it?
Yeah.
I think the most messed up thing it was like 3 days after he passed, I got a phone call on his phone. His phone. Someone called his phone and I answered it. And they're just like, I'm calling about a snake you have for sale. And I was like, I'm not selling any snakes right now. And he's like, oh, well, Forrest said he was going to sell me this snake. And I'm like, no, there's nothing for sale. And then he's just like, oh, well, can I talk to him? I'm like, no, you can't. And I was curious. And I was like, what snake are you talking about? And then he talks about this, blue chondro. And I'm like, wow. Like, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the name off air, but I already had a bad feeling about this guy. Officially ruined his name for me for the rest of my life. Like, the lowest.
I already know the name is.
I mean, we had just made the public announcement, and this guy called his phone. Like, how do you call a dead man's phone and ask his wife for an animal? Like, yeah, it was messed up.
Some piece of shit things you have to deal with, unfortunately, when we lose somebody close to you. And then I don't know. The reason why, like I said, because I wanted to be clear, these guys don't need to get rid of anything. They're not in a position where they're fucking looking to either auction shit off or
the animals speak for themselves.
Yeah, we've been taking care of them as a team, and Forrest was a big part of it too. And just because he's not here, it doesn't mean the animals are lacking their care.
And it's not just us. We have John, who worked here for a long time, and he still comes by and helps out. He was a huge part of it. Emily right now, our friend Jay, who's always on the chats and stuff, he comes here every now and then and helps out. So we got a great group of people here who are really invested in the reptiles. So it's a very fortunate position to be in, to be able to recover so quickly.
Yeah, and then we have an entire rodent staff. I have 10 rodent specific employees, This whole ordeal's payroll is probably 12 people. on average. So I don't need to let go of anything.
Except for some rodents. Coldbloodedcafe.com.
Yeah.
The sale is still happening. For everyone who didn't order this week because they thought it was gone, no, check coldbloodedcafe.com. Contact us if you want big rats, RepTek breeders. Come on.
Yeah.
And before we got the subject, stop trying to fucking take advantage of my two friends right here, you fucking idiots. You know who I'm talking about too. It's pissing me off. Anyone who's either asking these people if they're selling something that you know they're not going to get rid of, go fuck yourself. Okay, don't come at them like that. And definitely don't be
Stop
fucking
asking me about a Bronia. Like, I'm not selling a Bronia.
Oh,
like,
sick of it. These people are really nice. They won't say shit.
I'm in conservation for a Bronia via the Bronia Alliance. Like, we are not selling to the general public.
For anybody who's been following our collection and our breeding projects, which we have some of the, in my opinion, best in the country, when there are animals for sale, you will know because it will be posted for sale. Does that make sense?
When it's posted.
There'll be an ad that says for sale with the price. Whoa.
There is still a RepTek website and a store. There's nothing for sale on it right now, but maybe one day there will be.
We got emeralds and annulateds and a bunch of fun stuff. Tree monitors, like ball pythons, leopard geckos.
Kush reptiles.
You know, we got a lot of
Yeah, we're collabing.
I heard Emily's really stoked to see some emerald eggs.
I know, right? I'm really waiting for that emerald clutch, man. See that girl sitting on some pearly whites?
I love you, Emily. Okay.
Hey, listen, she has some good digs in the comments. And right now, since there is no comments, and I normally have them getting her back, I owed you that one for a while. So, well, we love Emily.
Yeah.
Emily's clutch. She's coming through. I give Emily good shout outs all the time. That's the homie. But that
Sorry about not being live.
That was pretty fucking hilarious. We will say, hey, listen, everybody messes up. It's all good. You know, yeah. I've had gravid emeralds with eggs in them before.
I know, right? Who hasn't? You know.
No, you're keeping it going.
No. Lars loves Emily. Am I right? Like
yeah, she's my on-call nanny. Yeah. Like, cool. Yeah, she had to leave early to get back home. She leaves on Sundays, so he's at his normal.
She has like school or something.
Monday through Friday nanny. But Friday nights.
Like finals? Like, who the fuck needs finals?
Finals what? What does that even mean?
School's all online these days. You can be wherever the fuck and take your finals.
It's finally summer? Is that what that means? Fuck.
Do a question, clean a cage, do a question, like, make it work.
Yeah. Okay, I do want. Okay, that brings me back because, like, I would be listening to lectures for studying for my nursing exam while cleaning snakes. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I know.
So, with the goals of adding anything on, is there a list of things you guys might want to even add on to what you have now, or?
So we're at 48 minutes right now. Do you want to stretch this to 2 hours? Like, with this question?
We can.
Sure.
So you want to hear the list of...
Go 4 hours. I'm not. I mean, this is nothing typical to Unfiltered.
Hey, I kind of want to be the longest podcast because who I was just looking at the other night. I think it was
probably Dave. I mean,
I think Brian and Kevin's was like 3:48.
If we would have added on,
Dave's was more than 4, right?
But his was half of it was driving.
Well, yeah, that's
so funny. That's still content. That's still good.
That's the disadvantage that you don't have.
I could literally start showing you all my animals. Like,
dude, if you guys really want to add the time we wasted fucking trying to create a thumbnail,
oh my god,
we would have been past the record by now. So you just didn't hit record.
Yeah, there's a really amazing snake underneath that MJ cut off because he can't get it together with his editing. Sorry, guys.
Ooh.
I asked her to send me a landscape photo.
Who takes pictures like this?
People who are going to be on our podcast.
Like this is a YouTube problem, right? I love you, MJ.
All I gotta say right now.
Can we talk about our daily group texting?
Oh man, it's hilarious. Definitely gets the engine going. I'll say that much. So
That's what we should do.
Some days I'm so depressed and just so down, and then some shit comes through from MJ, and I'm like, they made like I'm fine now. I'm happy.
Should make a Patreon page and have like the $50 a month tier be like access to our group chat. You know, for the real fans.
That way, that there's nothing being hidden. You guys can fucking hear everything we talk about. Like
unfiltered as fuck.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Like unfiltered after dark.
Unfiltered group chat. Unfiltered group chat. That's all.
That's hard.
Because let's talk about group chat. It's funny how, you know, not to bring up old shit, but I was tagged. I was actually, we were all mentioned that the podcast was mentioned in a particular group chat on
this
Facebook.
Is the daily Steven break of sorts.
What, you gotta go potty?
What's going on with him? Is he okay?
Bathroom/drama avoiding.
Oh,
he can leave. Yeah, go ahead and leave. I don't give a shit. I'll talk about this with you off. Okay. See ya. So I mean,
yeah, right. Like Steven has to calm me down because I'm like you. Like if some drama starts, I'm ready to go. Like I don't put up with shit. But Enforce is the same way. He would be like, "Dez, you gotta calm down, back it up. Like, don't respond like that to the customer." Like, I have Steven deal with certain replies to customers because I'm, you know, I don't know. I'm a fire.
What I'm saying is to give people access to our group chats is the most realist thing anybody can do. Because think about it, people talk the way they want to talk because they feel safe within their group chat, until there's one individual who is like, "Hey, I don't think this is cool," and they take snapshots of it and then they send it to people who aren't supposed to be in that group chat. And then it gives you a real insight on like, wow, this is how really people really think about what's really going on. But that's we personally as a team, Unfiltered Rep, we have nothing to hide. We don't, anything we say in the group chat, we're gonna say on this goddamn radio station. Whatever the fuck this is. I have a good time doing it. But I'm just saying,
I do too.
I don't have anything to hide from what I have to say to anybody. If I feel the way I feel, I don't ever fucking take shit back. Unless I offend somebody, which I do my very best not to offend anybody. Desiree?
Yeah.
I do.
I agree.
I've been getting better.
Yeah, you are. You're learning.
Day by day. Steven helps me too. Steven wanted to step away because Steven knows hand on hand what story I'm talking about, and he wants no part of it.
What story are you talking about?
There he is.
He's off screen listening like a fucking psycho.
Fucking what a weirdo.
I'm trying to catch you guys stirring some shit. That's what I'm doing. And I did. I feel like.
No, we kept it 100% cordial.
Finally.
I'm good. No, but listen, what I was trying to say though, Steven, is, you know, how iconic would it be to share our daily group chats, what we talk about on a day-to-day, which the reason why we'd share it to, you know, certain people who want to pay up is because we have nothing to fucking hide. Whatever we really have to say, we're willing to fucking say to people live. We're willing to talk about it live because how we feel is how we feel, and it's. You guys could. We'll talk about this Patreon, this page, and whatever.
See if there's a good like little snippet.
I'm on a Patreon thing for my sneakers.
What?
Yeah, for my Yeezys.
For my Yeezys.
I got my Yeezys on right now.
How many Yeezys do you have?
A couple.
Those are sick.
These are the zebras, and I only wore them today because it rained, and I didn't want to get my other ones messed up. Why would you wear white on a rainy day? I don't know, but they're the oldest, so they're already effed up.
Sunday whites, man.
Sunday whites.
Here's a good little snippet of our group chat.
Uh-oh.
A nice little.
I'm gonna use the restroom on this one.
It's actually very endearing and sweet.
Uh-oh.
You know, fuck it. Patreon, $100 a month tier.
Screenshot it and send it to him so he can put it on the screen.
No, I'm good. Oh man. Hey MJ, I didn't expose you. Don't worry.
Oh, is he talking about being a house bitch when he has to do the dishes?
Oh, I mean that's part of it, yeah. But yeah, and you know that's pretty funny in my opinion.
So MJ does all the dishes, all the housework.
Yep.
Mops the floors. Like he's always sending us pictures of him at the kitchen cleaning. Like what a great spouse that guy. you know.
Yeah, really taking one for the team there.
Yeah, like, wow.
It's really,
Lily is lucky.
Yeah, it's inspirational, really.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking the mold.
Yeah,
So
gender, what's
gender
that?
roles and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Gender roles reversed.
Wow.
From like 50 years ago.
So what was the topic that you guys needed me to be absent for?
He didn't even elaborate.
What do you mean? Wait, whoa. Needed you to be absent for?
Ooh, God.
You chose to leave, motherfucker. Who knows? What do you mean? I didn't need you to be absent. I wanted you to stay right here. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Oh my God. So I was on Spotify looking at all our podcasts and stuff, and then we have like a 4.5 out of 5. And one of the comments, oh, it's so good. I think I should pull it up.
Is it a Bob Smith comment?
What?
Is it a Bob Smith comment?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, God,
and then the second comment preceding it is literally the exact opposite of what the other person said.
Just how it be.
Okay, I'm almost there.
I get a shit ton of that on YouTube, but they're from fake accounts, and then I get like the positive shit from like real people on YouTube. So what are you gonna do, dude? I got over you paying mind to it. But hashtag fuck Bob Smith t-shirts coming out summer.
It was Spotify. Maybe it is YouTube. I don't know. But pretty much saying, why don't you guys actually talk about snakes instead of just bullshit and acting all like foolish? And then the other comment above it was like, you guys are so knowledgeable. I love cleaning my snake room and listening to you guys talk about reptiles and like you're just the greatest and blah blah blah.
Bro, this is the non-fucking flattest fucking podcast you'll ever hear. I don't give a fuck what anyone else to say. There's always gonna be that one person who thinks, okay, I should cuss less. Okay, we should talk less about penises and fucking testicles. There's always gonna be that one person. But at the other hand, you have people who love talking about fucking testicles and shit, and then then you have and you have an educational piece, Desiree, who loves talking about dude, we have two of the most fucking educational people in the reptile industry right here. I think, as far as on people who don't work in a zoo level, you know what I mean? You guys are pretty fucking up there on that shit.
Here's our the comment. Has potential. Right now the show needs direction and a purpose, as well as better mics for the sound quality.
Oh.
Wait, what was the last one?
So we need better mics.
What episode was this on?
It was December 26th.
So this is one of the first ones.
Was that when we started it?
Dude, well, me and Forrest started this in October.
Yeah.
So this and this is member Forrest was still doing it off his fucking watch. Oh wow. Yeah. Desiree's gonna floss.
She's pulling that Marino.
Damn, play.
I will not find you.
Continue reading though, please. I'm interested.
But anyway, it's not a fan of how much it drags and doesn't give you any information on reptiles or the people actually being interviewed.
Oh yeah, this is the one. Yeah, that's
so when I heard that, I'm like, which episode did you listen to?
Yeah,
like when have we not given information about reptiles or our guest? Like, isn't the whole point of our show to give information about the guests and the reptiles they work with?
Damn, that thing's sick. It's funny. I'm glad Desiree is doing this because that shows how much we should even be paying attention to the comment you just said right now. Because look what's important. That fucking monitor.
Ricingeri.
Fuck that bullshit comment. Oh my god, that shit was
Baroness Ricingeri. Did I do it right, Steven?
Not really.
What about Steven? You got a positive fucking comment you could drop real quick?
Yeah,
a positive one.
Oh yeah, then like that what Des was saying, like the very next one is like the exact opposite of that comment.
Yeah.
Unfiltered Reptiles Podcast, Apple Podcast. Subscribe today. Rate, review, comment, or whatever the fuck.
Rate, review, comment.
Great podcast of funny guys that actually care and are knowledgeable about snakes. Very in-depth interviews that are long but very interesting. I think that accurately describes our show.
100%. We've yet to get any legit criticism. Like, we want fucking actual concrete fucking how can we get better type criticism. And like, okay, what? The only thing that any old people say is I cuss too much, but I'm always gonna cuss.
It's unfiltered, and
it's unfiltered. Exactly. I came up with the name Unfiltered. I could cuss
for a reason. To protect yourself.
I can't not cuss. Like, I'm from South Dakota. It's kind of inbred in me. Hey, it's inbred in me, Kush.
What'd you say, inbred?
Inbred, South Dakota?
You're inbred.
That sounds like it makes sense.
Your mom's your sister, your dad's your brother.
No, all my teeth are good.
Yeah, and you have good genetics. We see Lars, so we're okay. He's not like
Lars.
Yeah,
I reproduced.
Lars doesn't have 3 eyes. Hey, so what's the deal with this? Are you guys breeding these right now?
Not this particular female. We don't have a male for it. We do have a male for it. We're raising it up. Oh.
Don't lose it. Okay, good.
Shish.
So yeah, I mean, look, I think there's too much positive coming in our direction.
Yeah, I get some sanitizer.
Yeah. Anyways, I do believe we have so much more positive going in our direction than the negative.
I agree.
You know, and you know, we are getting legitimate, good, positive feedback. It's not like kind of like positive feedback a lot of people get because they're friends with each other on Instagram. Like, we're getting people who are either telling us this is helping them with their mental health on a day-to-day. Like, we're getting some legit, you know, I send you guys snapshots all the time when people give us positive shit, and it's like every day. So listen, that's why I know we're until that kind of stuff stops happening, then I'll be like, okay, well, what are we doing wrong? But that stuff's happening every day. So
yeah,
sure, you know, we're always just trying to kind of push the envelope a little bit, you know, do things that other reptile podcasts haven't done, or bring on guests. Yeah. You know, we have a guest coming on soon, not to say too much, but is gonna be very unconventional for reptile podcast. But I think very interesting as somebody who's very much in the mainstream of social media, you know, verified 1 million+ followers kind of person, who is a reptile keeper and involves reptiles in their content and is wishing to do more of that. And my idea is kind of get an idea of, you know, somebody like that, what do they see as far as someone who wants to be a positive influence on reptiles, you know, in captivity, and how to promote that in a way that actually grabs an audience. Because with a lot of people, you know, unfortunately, this is how it works. Forrest and Nick Gordon from Toledo Zoo kind of came up with this term for the people who are a little too conservative on their, you know, how to promote conservation. They call him Conservation Carl. And Conservation Carl is that zookeeper who's standing there with a bull snake talking to 5 people about, oh, we gotta save wild habitats and, you know, so selectively breed and reintroduce, like, you know, the kind of person who you look at and you're like, all right, I'm done. Like, you know, that's Conservation Carl. He's wearing a bunch of khaki, and he has a name tag on. He's been there for 5 years and still isn't certified to be a keeper yet. Like, that's Conservation Carl.
He has desert boots on.
Yeah. He has glasses, a little beard.
Safari boots.
Yeah. He's Conservation Carl. You know, there's room for Conservation Carl, but Conservation Carl didn't have 1 million followers on Instagram. And unfortunately, that's kind of what the world's like today. So how do we bridge the gap between 1 million followers and Conservation Carl and find a good way to reach the masses with the good message of reptiles?
Good way to bring. I'm glad you brought that up, Steven, because like we were talking about, we're trying to do some stuff that, well, actually we are doing some stuff no other podcast is doing out there in the reptile industry, and what we're doing is trying to bring both worlds together. We have friends that have 1 million followers and that keep reptiles, maybe that not at our caliber, but I'm sure they want to someday. But we want to bring them on the show. We want to kind of get their experience on what it's like, you know, having to deal with their celebrity status, but then also keep animals. You know what I mean? I think that's what's bringing everything together.
Really, in the end, it's not about the keeping. It's about the mindset. You know, there's people who've been doing this for years, and they're like, you just can't stand to listen to them because they're just so overwhelmingly negative, or just, you know, stuck in the 70s. Like, you know, like it's just the way it is. You know, the world today is not what it was 20, 30 years ago. You know, where there's like a younger audience who are attracted to different things. And yeah, sure, it'd be great if your method worked. I wish it could. You know, I wish we didn't have to have sensationalism in content to reach large numbers of people, but it's just the way it is. But there's definitely a way to do it where you're respecting the animals, keeping education, conservation, whatnot as the main focus, but still making it content that is actually, you know, palatable for people who aren't into this in the first place. Because that's who matters, is the people who don't give a fuck about reptiles. If anyone gives a fuck about reptiles, they're on your side automatically. You got to get the people who either are neutral or negative.
Right.
And that is Conservation Carl is not convincing somebody who hates snakes to, be interested in conservation and private keeping.
It's dry air. It's dry air. It's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're stoked to be doing that. No Carl's on. No Carl.
And then on the other hand, we're working with a current guest, a pending guest, let's say, who may be one of the 3 most legendary people in the history of python keeping. So,
damn it, Steven. Did we approve to even discuss this yet?
Steven, I didn't say a name.
Oh, God.
Hey, MJ, this is
why we don't have a lot of subscribers. We have no suspense.
I feel like, how do you build more suspense than what I just said?
Okay.
We are.
We did that.
It leaves you guessing. I'm not saying any more, but I'm saying that we have a spectrum, We had Bill Brandt on the show. We had Ed Marino on the show. We had Kevin McCurley, Brian BARCZYK, like these guys who have been doing this forever too. So really,
we're gonna break up to this commercial here to Cold Blooded Cafe.
Break.
What? Was it that terrible what I just said?
No, it's not. I gotta pee.
Okay, go ahead. I thought you already got up for that.
What?
I thought you already got up. Go.
BRB. Just
nice shirt.
Camera. Thanks.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Steven, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How are you feeling, sir?
I'm doing good, man. What the hell is that? Oh, I'm pretty excited, but not trying to get overly excited because my chondro eggs look good.
Okay. That's
basically it.
That's keeping the excitement.
Yeah, like just to where, just at a level to where in case it needs to drop, it will drop. And what are you going to do? Or if in case it goes up, you were already kind of maybe excited for it. But you got to stay neutral.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. I was talking to Marshall Mendez. Shout out to Marshall Mendez, by the way. I got stickers. I'm going to be sending you some Marshall Mendez stickers, doggy. Oh, yeah. And I think we're going to go ahead and give away a Marshall Mendez sticker to the coolest comment in Desiree's session here. So if you guys are listening to this or watching this, whoever drops the sickest fucking comment on this episode, I'm going to go ahead and reach out to you and give you a Marshall Mendez Red Mountain Herp sticker. Oh, yeah. Okay. And if it's really that sick, I might even get you a shirt. I don't know. Depends.
Wow.
We'll see. Definitely won't be a black on black. They only make 3 of them. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's nothing we can do about that.
Oh,
but what I was saying, oh my God, I was talking about eggs and never mind. Wow, dude, she's nuts. She put the headphones with the gate. Dude, I've never. That's hillbilly shit right there.
That's some South Dakota stuff right
there. Dude, look at that. Hold on. All right, we're going to just let you on right now, Des. Hold on.
This is our baby gator, the only gator here. It's Chico. He's really pretty. Hello.
Keep flossing. Keep talking about it. I can't hear a fucking what you're saying.
Oh. What happened to your audio, Buverson?
Is my audio on? Hello, check 1 2. Are you there?
Yeah, we got it. We missed the last description.
All right, do that.
Hi. Okay, so this is Chico. It's our only gator here. It's a hypomelanistic from ROBBIE KESZEY, and I'm gonna socialize him and tame him down so that he can be an educational animal.
I think it's sick.
Chico.
Oh, Chico.
When you guys first got Chico, he was so small.
Yeah, he's gotten big.
Did Chico catch Forrest slipping one time, or did Chico bite anybody? I can't recall if Chico caught somebody.
No, Chico's never bit anybody. He's like, he gets all fired up in his like little enclosure, but he'll just let you grab him. Like you could grab him so recklessly and not even get bit. Like he's a training. He's our training. Yeah, exactly.
The new person grabs him.
The only one that Emily's allowed to grab without us here.
I think she posted a story of that thing being wild caught or something, and she was. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Not a wild caught animal. It was a joke.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Very cool.
Yeah, they're very therapeutic for me, especially right now. I just like coming here and checking stuff out.
What's the diet like on those things?
Mice, shrimp, Missouri.
Like every day he's eating?
Every few days.
And what's the
ask Steven. He's
You asked me to comment on it?
What's his food regimen?
Typically once or twice a week, a good sized meal. Like for him would be like a big medium or a small large mouse or like a fuzzy rat.
How much bigger will he get?
A lot.
A lot bigger?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a male, 8 to 11 feet. Female.
Damn.
That's an American alligator, man. They get freaking huge.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was one of those dwarf ones. It looks so small.
He's just a baby.
He's a baby.
He's what, a year?
I don't know.
Year and a half.
It's Robbie.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with crocodilians. They grow slow, but they grow huge. So, yeah.
I heard that they never stop growing, like ever. Like they, even if it's like a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
I mean, after they die, I think they probably stop. MJ, what the hell? Hang on, I gotta put this thing away.
But if you just keep feeding the bastards, they just keep growing.
Yeah, I mean, that's with any reptile. Like, it's, they can grow, but should they grow? Might be the question,
Yeah.
But, yeah. Healthy male alligator is like 10-footer. So,
How do you feel about having to work with something that big once it gets that big?
you need the right enclosure, and there's protocols and whatnot you can put in place to work that animal safely.
What?
Your mic's so low, Steven. Why's your mic
Put
low?
it up to your face.
It's actually not. It's just the way the angle of the camera is. It's actually almost a little bit above my head.
No, I'm talking about your volume.
You can't
Your
hear
mic.
me?
You just sound like you're far away.
Well, you told me I was fine. How about that?
That sounds good. Okay.
Jeez.
Talk like that again. Talk into the mic.
Talk into the mic.
Talk into it like you mean it.
That's creepy.
Talking into the mic.
All right.
Fancy ass mic. Like, this is real now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Podcaster.
I just had Amazon deliver that.
I like having that, like, swing it. There's Desiree.
Yeah, this is what we used to use.
Now, for people who are very interested in your guys' breeding projects, hello, and that been following you and whatnot, what's one way that they can be like? Is it just look once you guys post something, that's when you know something will be for sale? Do you guys do like news updates on the websites? Like, what's
I mean, we're all about doing stories, so just following the stories every day or whenever we do it. But
primarily, you're primarily Instagram.
Right, primarily Instagram.
Might a really important clutch or litter might warrant a permanent post.
Permanent post, yeah. I'm not a big poster. It's got to be like some real deal shit for me to post. But no, I mean, like we would sell our shit at the reptile shows, and since they're not happening right now, like it's not really, that's where we would take the baby green cheese we'd have, or things were like some of the monitors we're like right now we have a bunch of Gastrophilus prasinus little baby monitors that eventually will be for sale. I don't know, online or whenever NARBC decides to open up or Corona decides to go away, who knows? But yeah, I would just say if we do start selling something, we'll make a story announcement, and then either Morph Market or King Snake or the RepTek website, something like that. Because I know Steven is breeding a bunch of his stuff and getting eggs, so he's gonna have stuff for sale. And I think he's gonna go through Morph Market. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it'll be a little bit everywhere, but like, you know, the more common stuff will be like Morph Market and Facebook, and you know, with certain species, like I've been getting a lot of messages about waiting lists and stuff like that. Like, you know, waiting lists don't work because most of the people who you have on your waiting list end up dropping off. It's like,
or do you have to wait for them?
Yeah, I'm gonna post like, hey, they're available, and you know, if you want them, come get them. Like, you know, annulateds or blue beauties or, you know, scrub pythons are a whole different story. I would say nobody hold your breath on those.
Waiting list. The waiting list isn't intent for two people to wait. It's fucking. Listen, if you want to wait for this, once it's there, shoot me the money now. I don't.
Turn on post notifications, maybe. That's a good.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, turn on post notifications.
Remember when that was a thing?
Yeah. That was fun.
Oh, hit that bell.
Oh, smash that like button.
Steven has a few ball python clutches in the incubator, right, Steven?
Yep.
And then
I got some turtle eggs in there, I think, that are still doing good. Yeah. The Cora trifasciata.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those do you have? How many of those do you have cooking? Two?
Two.
Yep. And
that's a huge milestone, though, right? To have those.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they're one of the rare species out there for that species. I think the adults were going for like 30,000 or something. Because
yeah, the thing is
they think that they cure cancer. So over there in Asia, that's what's happening to them.
But they eat them, right? Is that how they cure cancer, by eating them or something like that?
Yeah.
That's raw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're
pretty endangered.
top endangered turtles in the world. So.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned that one time when I was watching one of your stories and Forrest was reading Lars a book about.
Oh my God, how the turtle got its shell! I just read him that the other night.
But was it really in the story when he talked about how like the turtles get eaten in China? Was that really like in the story?
No, that was not in the book. He just
added that.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I love that video. Like, I have that video saved.
It's classic. It's kind of because I'm like, wow. I was like, oh wow, look, Forrest is reading to his son, and then if you're listening to what Forrest says, he's literally talking about.
Mm-hmm. No, he'd go on rants in the books because kids' books are like 2 sentences per page. So then he would just like elaborate and do improv and just add stuff in. And
after the first sentence, this was Forrest's face.
He's not listening to me. He's just running around playing. I'm like, it's okay. Just keep reading out loud. Like, he is listening to you just because he's not sitting on your lap or sitting there watching the pages. Like, they are picking up on it. Just keep reading, keep reading. Like, yeah, it was freaking adorable.
Let's talk about motherhood right now, man. Since, congratulations. Oh, happy Mother's Day. Man.
Thank you.
I should have. We got too caught up in the thumbnail, but I wanted to do a happy Mother's Day intro for Desiree. But
last year Lars was 2 months, so it didn't really. It was but this year was really, really special. The family that's been taking care of him got his little footprints, and they made it into like a heart shaped, so that was super cute. And there was a little card that Lars drew on, and she signed it for him, and yeah, it was very special. But I just upgraded his toys. All his like infant baby toys have become he's just bored of them, so he doesn't even take him out of the toy box anymore, and he's always like yelling at me from his play area when I'm trying to do stuff in the kitchen. And he's just like, he's super bored. So I bought him this like car. So I put this car together for him, and he can like get in it and push it around. And it's kind of like a stroller, I guess. So you can like push them around in it. And that's the first thing he goes to now. So like this one brand new toy, it's like, he's all about it. So I got a couple other toys coming.
It's like when you get a new reptile and you're just like, look at that. Oh, it's cool. And then it's like, okay, I need another one.
I'm bored with the next one.
For real. This is the new wave. I'm telling you, man. You're about to have something on your hands, especially if this kid starts geeking out and starts finding like what the real rare shit is, and then he starts meeting people at shows. I can see him at 14 years old. I can see him at 14 years old making $1 million deals and shit.
I know. I hope he loves it. I really do. Like, I'm not gonna push it on him, but he's definitely gonna be here all the time. And if once he's getting a little bit older, I'll have him here a lot more. And I'm trying to set it up to where it's not so unsafe. But he definitely goes for the snake hooks. Like every time we bring him in the snake room, it's like he grabs a snake hook. And he's just running around with it like, just the greatest thing he's ever seen.
He'll be a venomous guy.
For real.
He might be a venomous guy.
He's gonna be like another Robbie, like a version of Robbie.
Yeah.
He's gonna be so wild.
He did not like the outdoors or the grass or like leaves until this the nanny thing started. Like he was super worried about it, and he wouldn't walk. He'd just sit there. Like his the Easter photos that I did.
Oh yeah,
he was upset because he was sitting in grass. Like he was not okay with it at all. And then like we put the basin in front of him, and then he's like, okay, I'm cool. I can smile now. Like got some good stuff from that. But yeah, they started taking him outside every day, and now he's just like he's fine. Like he's all about it. He can walk around the grass. So I'm gonna get him a trampoline for the farm and some push toys over here, and yeah, it's gonna be cool.
He's already starting to trying to say some words too, from what I could see. Like he's trying to talk.
Yeah, he's got the typical stuff. Mama, dada. We were trying to teach him some other words today. I probably shouldn't say these on air. But.
Wow. I can only imagine.
Well, I think he heard Steven say gay, and then he started saying it.
Gay. Did he say M? Did he say M gay?
Hey, you guys talking M gay?
Are you guys talking about
You better not teach him to say that shit, or I'll be fucking pissed.
When you show up here, Lars, like, hey, what's up, M gay?
Yeah.
Lars, you're as tall as me now. I would not. You're not talking any more shit, Lars. You ready to go? Because you're as big as me.
I know. He's already a size 4.5, and he's like 1.
His feet don't even fit on the damn paper that they imprinted on his fucking
right,
feet.
I know. Yeah, he's gonna be like 12 and taller than me.
Oh shit. Is it really hard, juggling, working the farm and because I know you have Lars with you for the most part, but like managing the two, like what's that like?
It's totally cool, honestly. Like I wake up late for a baby. Like we wake up around like 8 o'clock and we just kind of chill, and then we don't really get to the nanny until about 11, and except for Mondays. Monday's a whole different story. But the rest of the week, it's kind of just like relaxed, and we have our mornings together, and then I get him to the nanny, and then I spend all my time here till about 7, and then I go back and get him, and then we go home and we have dinner and we play and we read and do a bath, like have a whole like bedtime routine. So kids, it's really important that kids have like a schedule and a routine, and like they thrive on that. Like you start messing up their routine and they start getting really like she had told me so it's gonna get kind of sad maybe, but when Forrest passed on March 1st, I moved out of that place right away, and I was like staying in hotels and staying with family and going back and forth from South Dakota and driving, and like I eventually like got us a new rental house that's near the farm, and we were there for like a month or two and got settled in, and then I was having these panic attacks constantly and just was not able to be alone, and just like really wanted to just come be here and be with the animals and be with my employees and try to work and just try to distract myself. So I was lucky enough to find this nanny who is through Chelsea, one of my other employees. It's her aunt, and they're amazing people.
Nice.
So when I brought him there initially, and she didn't tell me this until a few days ago, but she was like, yeah, when Lars first got here, he seemed really kind of sad and down and, just not super happy for a baby. And then she's like, but now he's like really happy and smiling and he's, you know, doing really well and this and that. And I was thinking like, well, yeah, I mean, he went through a lot. Like I think he definitely knew, like he lost his dad and saw how I was, and we were, you know, in and out of hotels. We didn't have a normal schedule. We weren't eating normally. And once, you know, he got on a regular schedule and had a stable environment and had this like interaction with this other family, and they have a granddaughter that's a few months older than Lars. So he's got like a little play friend. Now he's doing great and you can see it on his face. And so that was definitely hard to hear, but then I felt better about it because, you know, for the whole first year of his life, he was with me 24/7. I hardly ever came to the farm, very rarely. So I definitely spent all my time with him, raising him that first full year. And then I needed to like take care of myself so that I could be a good mom. And like part of being on this podcast is really helped me. And yeah, we're getting by day, and Lars is doing great. And I'm super excited to have him a part of all this, and I really hope he gets into it. And sorry.
No, you're good.
There's a whole library of awesome books that Forrest left behind that I hope he picks up and starts getting into.
Those should be his tablets. Just put the
Yeah,
books-
that's what I'm gonna do.
No, especially the turtle book.
Yeah.
Well, Desiree, I could tell you this, man. What was that, Steven?
He's got, you know, like the Pythons of the World volume books right there for him.
Oh, he has Ari's books. He has
Ari's
fucking.
books.
He's a shit ton, dude.
He's
He has
got quite the
classes.
library.
Yeah, he really does. But what I was gonna say, Desiree, is it's really awesome just to see your face again. Like around, I know you went on hiatus after what happened, and you know who wouldn't. But like to be able to see you and Lars smiling together and on this podcast and everything, I feel like that's kind of like that's making everything easier. I can tell you that right now. And not only for you, but for everyone else. Like you don't understand how many people are happy to see your face. Like people are stoked that you're out here. You're doing what you can. You know, Steven, how's it feel to have Desiree come around? You know what I mean? Like in support. You know what I mean? I mean, how's that feel for you?
Oh, I mean, it's always a lot better for a number of reasons. You know, one, it's extra help here. You know, I don't really trust much of anybody else here to do reptile work when I'm, you know, not doing it or whatnot. So that's another kind of peace of mind when Desiree's here. And then she instills the fear of God into the employees, which I am not quite as successful at doing. So it's great to not be the bad guy all the time anymore. So yeah, but from the start, I was like, yeah, this place runs better when she's here. So yeah, it's
Thanks, Dean.
nothing negative, of course. You know, it's,
Oh, hey, and I'm packing shipping boxes. Don't forget that.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, please.
I'm like full-time shipping right now. Like, yeah.
Speaking of that, I need to get my order in before tomorrow. So probably have to shoot that over to
tonight.
Steven
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, California people. Yeah, we gotta cut off.
Shout out to all the California people who support Cold Blooded Cafe, by the way. It's a good part. It's a good chunk of the business. Am I right, Steven?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, California, state by state, is our top state.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
shout out to everybody in California.
Mm-hmm.
Cali.
We're not direct shipping either if you're that far away from us. So take advantage of it. Best runs in the biz.
Real quick, let's talk about something else, because this is one thing that I did discuss with Forrest when he was over here. You know, Forrest and his ideas, fucking, you had no other choice but to hear them because they sounded it sounded like out of this world. But one thing that he kept talking about the last 2 times I saw him here locally was he wanted to somehow create a rodent business to supply the West Coast and then have obviously Indianapolis be Indianapolis, but I mean, what is that even on a blueprint maybe someday as far as expanding Cold-Blooded Cafe? Getting you guys on the West Coast, you don't have to worry about shipping, expensive $30 rate. Not that it is expensive, but that's what he said. He says to eliminate having to worry about shipping costs or something. It would be cheaper to have everything on one side of one side of the state, or excuse me, one side of the nation, and then worry about covering East Coast from Indianapolis.
Okay, so the thing about that is it's a 4-day shipment. So that means I got to use at least 25 to 30 pounds of ice just to make it there by Friday to be frozen. So that limits how much we can put in your box, like product-wise. So if we had a location there, then it would be a 1 or 2 day shipment, and we'd use half as much ice, and we could put more
on every order.
In. Yes, on every order. So that was considered. And then UPS came back and said, all right, we'll give you your 3-day select pricing. So instead of a 4-day ground, now we're doing a 3-day ground. So everyone who is on a 4-day shipment is actually, we're using a 3-day service. And we're able to get it there a day earlier. But we definitely still want to do that. It's just just figuring out if it's going to be cost effective or not. I think it will be, but it's finding the right location and the right staffing, and it would definitely benefit us because we definitely have a lot of California customers.
And then you have this Californian who could work it right here.
Oh yeah.
Put me in the fucking barn, dude. I'll work the rat. I'll work the rats like Steven, my mentor. You are supposed
to come visit, and we could,
I'm gonna put a big picture of Steven's face on the biggest wall in the barn of the fucking rodents, and every employee I hire, I'm gonna point up there and say, everyone look at that face right there. You see that Terminator fucking look face right there? That's what you need to be worried about. If he flies in on a visit, we're all fucked.
Fucked. It's over.
He's gonna fire everybody and call us fairies.
Oh, he did. He did have a meltdown one day, and my entire team quit. I had to individually contact every one of them and be like, "You got to come back to work."
I thought I was getting jumped that day.
Steven isn't feeling well. I think he has the fucking cold or flu or something. He didn't mean what he said. Come back. I'm still helping Steven with management skills. He's getting it.
He came down with SARS. He had SARS.
I think it's just because he's very young. So like all the employees that work here are either his age or a little bit older, and so they have a hard time taking him seriously. And and then Steven may be a little bit too nice at times where I'm like, yeah, I would have never have said that or done that. Like you're
typically at that age you make a lot of fucking stupid decisions that you end up regretting, like giving up on things. I'm so glad I did not get into the animals the way I'm into it now at a young age, because I'm afraid my passion wouldn't have been there at times where I don't know, like especially around that time, I loved the fucking party. I didn't give a fuck about nothing but partying. So I mean, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. But like Steven did the exact opposite. He sacrificed any kind of partying, any kind of fucking schooling, or any kind of shit that you're supposed to go through at that age. Well, he fuck it, and he now look for
but he was doing this before he worked here. So like we didn't like create who he is. Like he was already like that.
You guys influenced him.
It just kind of flowed. Like that was one of the reasons
you injected him with
him. Because, we knew he was all in, all passionate, didn't care about high school parties or college parties or even going to college, which we did support him going to college. That was his own decision not to do that. I even told him I'd help him do online classes and like help him get through it. Because I had been there, I got 8 years of college and a lot of it was online. But he's like, no, I don't want to do it. Like, I just want to breed reptiles and like, so... Yeah.
He said teachers are stupid.
Yeah. No.
Wait, what were you going to school for though, Steven?
Marketing.
Yeah.
So
now he's like commercial.
Now he posts once every 6 months.
Now he jumps out of my freezer being like, Cold-Blooded Cafe, $30 flat rate shipping. Like,
Hey, dude, look, your guys' stories game.
Oh my god, wait, Steven, I gotta find that one photo where you're wearing the rodent bag for a t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Okay, wait, let me find this.
I was just gonna say your guys' stories game is on point, but you guys need to post more.
I know.
I mean, what do you mean by that?
Cool pictures when
you need to post fucking animals more. You should be posting like once or twice a day on your account. Not
Yeah.
at least once or twice.
See, Forrest's thing was like he would put a post up like once every other month.
That's Forrest did it to flex on Desiree.
I know.
What?
I said Forrest would only post just to flex on you. That's the only reason why he was
okay.
posting.
Yeah, you want to go down that road? So
yeah, sure, let's talk about it.
Steven. Forrest did not like social media. He never wanted it. And he was all about being underground and just being quiet about it. But once I got my Instagram, he's like, let me show you how this is really done. And I was like, all right. And so I came up with his handle. I was like, Zoo Dreams. And he's like, yeah, that's a good one. That's pretty good. And he's like, let me show you how to get to 10,000 followers in a few months. And he did, and surpassed me. And I don't know how much he really like cared about it. It was just to one up me, you know.
I don't know why.
Typical spousal competition. Fun stuff.
Yeah, but that was to the next level.
I mean, I think it was through BARCZYK's YouTube that it really got big, but his Instagram was strictly just to show me how it's done.
Can we talk about history with you and the BARCZYKs on how you guys met him and stuff?
How did I think?
Shout out to Brian BARCZYK.
That goes way back. Yeah, because I think Forrest was like 17 or 18 the first time he had met them or talked to them. And I know like we were their first rodent customer right away. So we'd like actually drive rodents up to Michigan from here. And then
they were your customers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we sell to them.
How much were they buying from you?
I can't say.
Big number.
Yeah, they buy a lot. I was looking for that photo. We just found that the other day. What month was that in? It's really good. Like, I'm going to send it to you, MJ, and you got to just put it on the screen.
I could do that.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay, send it. Like, he's literally in a fucking Missouri rodent bag. It's epic. Yeah, their commercials were my favorite. Forrest's energy and just how freaking funny he was, and oh my god,
this is like one level. This is one level away from child pornography.
Yeah, kind of.
Steven looks violated.
I was 19.
Put it up.
You were 13. What'd you say? How old?
19.
Oh, 19.
That's almost child pornography.
He's an adult.
Oh man, I don't know about. He looks so little.
Oh, ouch, Steven.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he has a little bit of girth on his bicep, but he was more swole in Chicago, that's for sure.
Fuck off.
Ouch.
God damn. I know. You know what to tell me.
See, I know. All right, let's see what we got here. Hold on.
Yeah. Post it.
What happens when you're enslaved for a year and don't get to work out?
This is what we're talking about.
Damn.
That is Steven Kush.
Representing.
We love Missouri, man.
No sleep. This poor guy.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
11 o'clock. Feed everything.
I remember when they were there till like 2-3 o'clock in the morning in the rodent barn because somebody fucked something up and Forrest realized it, and it was a Stephen Forrest mentorship till about 3 a.m.
I mean, that's
sometimes, you know.
There's the lovely days if I'm working, from 9 a.m. It's like 9:30 p.m. and I'm about to leave, and Forrest rolls up, and it's like, "Hey, we're working until 3 a.m." I'm like, "Well, you just slept all day." Like, goddamn. So I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, oh,
that sucks.
Yeah, one time our forklift ran out of propane, and we couldn't get it replaced for some reason or whatever. What are you looking at?
There's an earthquake going on right now.
Oh, good shit.
Can you feel it?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
just,
I can
Is
still
that
feel
why the
it.
background is shaking?
I don't really feel shaking anymore.
Oh, okay. I noticed it a second ago.
That's
Weird.
the second time I've had this happen on a podcast. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was on here or if it was.
no,
the,
it was.
No, it was us.
dude, wow, it's
Yeah.
still shaking. Wow.
That's wild.
Anyway, we have like
We're good. I don't need to get under a desk or anything. We're good.
No.
Fuck.
We're on the podcast.
Fuck me.
So it's an audio experience. Like no one can hear that you have an earthquake.
So if I get killed, you guys could just keep talking.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, we lost MJ. R.I.P.
Yeah, but so we have this like trash hopper that we have on our forklift. We dump into our dumpster, whatever, and the forklift wasn't working. So what he made me do was take a shovel, and this garbage in this hopper was 2 days old, had been rained on multiple times. It's all rodent bedding.
Oh
It
my
was shovel it from there into trash cans and then dump it in the side of the dumpster, which is like lifting it up 4 feet and dumping it in.
Ouch.
At like 2 a.m. and I think it was kind of cold. So
That's what that photo was?
That's
no,
hardcore.
that was another time. That was the Missouri
But
bag.
what
was
is
for
the timestamp on that one?
Like what time of night?
Mm-hmm. What's the timestamp on that photo?
Like, what do you mean timestamp?
Are you fucking serious right now? When the picture was taken?
Okay, here. Does it say?
Yeah.
All right, Indianapolis, Indiana, June 11th, 2019, at 10:26 p.m.
Okay, there you go. Exactly. Who the hell is still working at 10:30 on Rodent Farm?
Me.
Hmm.
Me. I am.
Yeah.
The kids has been out of control lately.
Me?
Your OT, like your workout, you've been working a lot of hours, Tegan.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like that, though. You're maturing very, very well.
Oh, thank you. You're sweet.
This is how our group chat sound.
Let's talk about some of your favorite snakes, Desiree. That you guys keep. What's one off the bat? What's one of your favorite snakes you keep? You love seeing and working with on a daily.
Honestly, it's that freaking yellow Malucan. It's not even mine.
Dude.
That's grub.
Nuts.
Yeah, I was really into chondros. I still really am, and we never had scrubs before. So once we got those, and I saw that snake, I was like, "Yeah, that snake's freaking insane." Because I think it's the color mostly. I like the canary chondros a lot. So having like another yellow snake here, it's pretty cool.
And the canary you guys bred this year, right? But nothing ended up happening with that.
What?
Yeah,
canary chondros?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't remember.
You guys ultrasounded that one. You're like, yeah, not sure. Like, well, fine.
In the other building?
No, in the main room. Look up and to your right.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Desiree. You don't know your animals?
Hell no. That's why I got keepers.
You want to just sell it to me?
Nope.
Hey, fuck you.
I don't know. I've been more like, we did snakes for so long that like once we started getting monitors, that became my big thing. Like I really like the croc monitor, obviously Kilo. I remember the first time I grabbed her by myself. Forrest was on one of his world trips, like it was in Africa, and I needed to get her out to do a cage cleaning, and I was like terrified. But she was little tiny thing, and I was like, just do it, you're fine. And I'm just in there, doing some threads, like trying to get her out, and like I got her out through underneath, and everything was fine, but my heart was pounding, like. And then after that, I just fell in love, and she always wanted to get on my head. She always would get on my shoulder and climb on my head, and she'd just sit there, and I could like clean her cage while she'd just sit there and chill. And then the tree monitors were awesome. I think we had a Quince monitor first. I think that was our first one. And I I did get bit by one of those. That really sucked.
Is that the one that was on footage or video of you getting bit?
Yeah, I put it on TikTok. I really like
Forrest was videotaping it, right?
Yeah, Forrest was taping it. It's his voice in the background, and it makes me just, I don't know. I love that video, but he's just like, Desiree's taking her first monitor bite ever.
It's like, all proud moment.
Yeah, he's like not helping me get it off. Like he's trying to film as much of it as possible, and then he's like, okay, here, hang on, let me help you. And then I finally just pull the thing off me and put it away. But there's actually a post somewhere on my Instagram from that day of like the blood and the monitor still in my hand. Like just, you know, I don't know. Some people have reactions to it. I didn't. I've never really had when the tree monitors, like I get itchy after playing with those sometimes. But I haven't had any major bites. I did get bit by an olive python one time, and that was on our security camera footage, which is also on my TikTok.
Feeding bite?
Yeah. So
you're feeding and you missed?
Oh yeah. So what happened was I was like doing rodents all day, like working with the euthanized stuff, like bagging, and I had a couple teenagers, some girls that were working rodents and they were gonna start doing reptiles. So like I was having them clean baby corn snakes, you know, just real basic small stuff to deal with. And I'm over here cleaning big snakes, and I go to open the olive python cage, and I see that she's, you know, really curious. And so like I go to get a hook because I'm just going to take her out. And before I could do that, I reach down and she starts coming out of the cage. Like she follows me out like this far and grabs me in the back of the arm and just wraps me. And she bit me and readjusted like 3 times. Ooh. And I still keep working, and I'm just kind of laughing, and I'm like pulling the water bowl out. I have the snake just like wrapped around my arm, and the girls are freaking out, and they're like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Should we call the cops?" And I'm like, "No, just come unwrap it. Like, just get to where I can get to the head." And they finally like calm down, and one of the girls starts unwrapping the snake, and like I get to the head, and I just unhinge it and get it out, and it was pretty funny, I guess, but it was caught on the security camera. and Forrest was like, that should be your first TikTok video. I was like, but the quality is shit. Like, it's not going to do good. Like, it's not going to be good. And like, I didn't end up posting it until way later. And it happened to be my most viewed video. It's like 2.5 million or something. Like he always knew what was good content. I don't know.
Yeah, bites, getting bitten.
I know.
Look at Brian BARCZYK, dude.
Yeah, then my other video that's got a lot of views is the monitor, the Quince monitor biting onto my thumb, and then some Abronia bites, and throwing my couch off my balcony.
That was a classic one. I like that one.
I knew that was going to be a good one. Like I filmed it in segments knowing that this is going to be a TikTok video and I'm going to like clip this together. And yeah, that was like my first non-reptile video besides like random stuff with Lars. Because either people love babies or puppies or stupid shit like throwing couches off balconies. So I'm just trying to see what the audience wants, you know? But my TikTok following is almost as high as my Instagram, and I didn't really care about all that until recently. Like it's just fun now. Like the TikTok's fun. I guess because Instagram totally shut me out. I don't know if anyone else had to deal with this, but they decided like you can't view likes anymore. Like it won't show you how many likes you have on your pictures, or you can't see other people's. But then when I created Lars's account, it's back to normal. So I'm like,
wait, you can't see likes on your own account?
No. Like from my regular account, I can't see my own likes unless I click on the word other, and then it will show me. But like if I'm just scrolling through, I can't see how many likes are on people's shit.
Did you delete the app and re-download it?
Oh yeah, I did everything. And I sent them hundreds of messages. Like, this is stupid. You're ruining it for me. I'm going to close my account, blah, 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 blah.
They don't
But
give a shit.
I think they changed it because I started an account for Lars and it's normal on his. So I'll just like be on his and scroll through stuff just to see because you could.
Yeah, Instagram's fucking boo.
Yeah,
man.
I'm kind of bored of it right now, so that's why I'm all about TikTok right now. And everybody's in quarantine and at home, so what else do they have to do but be on TikTok?
Are you on TikTok, Steven?
Hell no.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
I posted
I just
one.
use his animals for it.
I posted one, and then when I started seeing like, oh, you need to post like fucking like
You got a
pop music
TikTok?
with it, or like, no, this is like 2 years ago when like
You
TikTok
should
first
have
came out.
stayed on, man.
I'm straight. I don't give a fuck about TikTok. TikTok don't pay my bills. I don't want to do with TikTok.
I don't want social media to pay my bills, but
TikTok, the dudes who have TikToks are the ones who slap their own butts during sex.
I saw that meme and I was like,
what the fuck?
If you make okay, if we're talking about it's kind of funny because it's honest, man. I don't, if they have TikTok, if guys who have TikToks that's non-related to reptiles, like they're not posting, like they just have TikTok, they're dancing and really doing all this fucking weird like fucking girly ass fucking shit, and it's cool. So that's why it made me laugh. It was hilarious when I read that. I hope a lot of people didn't take offense to that, like because I know there's a lot of reptile people who have TikTok, but if you don't have reptiles and you have TikToks and you're doing all this fucking Jesus, dude, it's like, come on, bro.
oh my god, what has this show turned into?
What are you doing on your phone, Steven? Am I not interesting guest enough for you?
He's been on this phone for a while.
God, what a dick. Wow.
Every time Desiree cat calls me out, I'm at least geeking out on the guest fucking page or like photo. I'm like, I have Steven's doing nothing.
Ouch.
What are you talking about?
Is that mine?
Yeah, I've been looking at your page.
Oh, it better be. It better be.
So,
dick. Oh, Terminator.
Who gave you that name again? Oh, it was Cody Barnolini.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we should get Cody on here. He talks fucking a lot. Like, we literally wouldn't even have to say anything.
Like, all right, Cody, go.
4
hours. Okay.
You don't even need a question. Like,
it's interesting. I don't know what it is. He for a while he was posting these like long ass stories, but they were so fucking intriguing and interesting. At that time, I didn't like almost anyone's stories. I like Steven. Steven's stories were always fire, but dude, his stories were just like the way he talks, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, blah blah, and then like he would clown Forrest and shit, and it's like, what, like
Martini Mondays.
Yeah, dude. I definitely want to get him on. I'm down to get him and Steven on.
Oh yeah, we can get them.
Well, I already know I could get them. I talked to him, so thanks.
Ooh.
Okay. Fancy.
Give me 6 feet, Corona. Have you guys ever considered coming out with some like Cold-Blooded Cafe winter gear or like some sort of apparel? Like
I have buddies.
No, you don't. You don't.
Yeah, I did.
Where they at?
I have
Where's
one.
mine?
Bro, you were that one guy that asked me for one.
Steven, do you have one?
No, he doesn't wear hoodies. He only wears zip-ups. He's Chicago.
Yeah.
I literally offered him a hoodie, and he's like, "No, I'm not gonna wear that." Like, all right,
bro.
Yeah, right.
I would have said.
So I mean, the thing is, MJ, is you have the printer guy. Like, just you have the logo. Just send me the bill. Just print whatever. Like, where's my RepTek shit? My dad is really bugging me about this.
Wait, what? Your dad's what?
The RepTek logo. I sent it to you.
You did not send me no RepTek logo.
I did too.
Yeah, don't put me on blast.
Okay. I'm
what email?
I at Zoo Dreams Official.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that email.
So my dad only wants to wear the original RepTek logo, but he wants it just a white logo with black shirt.
Can I get one?
Yeah, of course. I want you to print a ton of them because, like, the problem was that the original logo has like 40 layers of color because I was super specific about it. I drew it. I was all about it, and because it's got like the white caiman on it. It's got a blue chondro, yellow chondro, and anyway, I've sent it to so many different printing places, and they're like, we can't. It just comes out as a blob, and like we can't work with it. So that's why
I'm looking at it right now, and it's not really the clearest. Like
Well,
if I
great.
zoom in, yeah, dude, this is not gonna. I'm telling you, I could tell you this logo ain't gonna work. You have to send me something.
Okay, I'll find a better one, but we got to make it work because
It's sick though. Like I think it's sick as
my
shit.
dad is really into it.
Yeah, we'll get popped.
He called it the Fang shirt. I'm like, I guess he doesn't look like snake fangs, but whatever.
Fangs.
Fangs.
I don't see any fangs.
Yeah, I know.
All good, yeah. Shout out to Pop. We'll get Pops a shirt.
Yeah. Oh, but this is what he wants to do with it. He wants a T-shirt that he can cut off the sleeves. I was like, Dad, I can make you a tank top. He's like, No. I want to cut it myself. And like any hoodie that he has, he always cuts this right here.
Like a workout, like the old school workout gym hoodie.
Yeah. Like,
is he swole? Is he all like yoked and shit?
fuck. Yeah.
He is?
Yeah.
Damn, that's sick.
He's got to have his biceps out. So
Have you met him before, Steven?
Yeah.
Is he really swole?
Is he?
I mean, it was winter.
It was winter.
It's probably covered up. I mean, he always was growing up. Like he would do this, and me and my sister would hold on to his arms, and he'd like lift us up in the air.
Yeah. So if you're rocking a hoodie like that, it's because you come from an era where you fucking did some crazy like gym, fucking like old school gym plate days.
Well, I don't know if it's really like the gym, but like he was a foreman. Like he built houses. Like he built our house, and he worked in the oil fields in North Dakota. Like he's definitely like a outdoors kind of guy, and you know, a lot of blue collar labor kind of work. So I don't know, just get that design done for me, MJ.
Yeah, give me a good quality. I'm not wasting my printer's time with that quality of logo.
All right, I'll find you the original one.
Yeah, give me the original one. Take your time, no rush. Don't rush it, because when things rush, they don't turn out great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why all these shirts.
My original banner is behind all of these.
Steven,
you can't even see it.
You look so fresh, bro. I'm already getting hit up, and I'm like, what? No.
Dude, I love this logo. Like, I don't want anyone else to have it. Sorry, people. Ooh.
Steven said he don't wear hats, but he's gonna be wearing this one.
I'm gonna wear a hat.
This is for Lars too. I got one of these coming for Lars.
Hell yeah.
Nobody has spent the passion and quality time in making these hats like this. I'm telling you, these hats are ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous.
Ridics
are ridics. I had that earlier said in the story.
Ridics are ridics.
Yeah.
Your retic got away.
Not really. Just fucking got trapped behind a fucking rack system.
Did you find your retic?
Yeah, Desiree, I did.
Hang on. Oh, there it is. Here. I'm gonna zoom it in. There we go.
Is that what you just sent me?
I mean, I think I sent that to you, but you said it's not good enough.
Oh, it just looks blurry on my end.
I drew all that. Like, that's my craftsmanship.
Okay, so why does...
Here, I'll send it
that
in.
look like the same quality?
It's definitely blurry. I'm seeing it now. Okay. I was just sending it to you to have him, like, kind of, like, redo it into just a one color, like, one outline. You know what I'm saying? Just
you want him to actually redo this, not redo it, but, like, we'll talk later, okay? Because that's going to take some work.
Yeah, like I want him to make it into something that I can have printed, because it's.
We'll get that done. Tell your dad that's going to get done.
He literally told me to hurry up.
It's.
He's like, summer's coming, and I need this shirt now.
Before summer. Summer is in what, another few weeks?
Yeah, I think they had snow like last week, so we're still fine. Yeah, it keeps snowing on and off. Steven, are you bored?
Yeah, he's been bored.
No.
He's like, he can't wait for the 2 hour mark.
Wow, what an asshole. Okay, well, why don't you just go clean rodents then? I'll talk.
Damn. Steven, you're not getting a hat now.
You know, I stuck up for you when it was your podcast, and I told Forrest to stop talking and ask you questions and let you talk.
I had a half podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And I stuck
Wait,
up for
what?
you.
What about your podcast?
Oh, Forrest talked more than half the time.
Yeah.
God, that wasn't my fault.
I know. I'm not saying it was, but like I had like half a podcast.
But I was literally in the other room at the condo, and I texted Forrest. I said, "You need to shut up and let Steven talk. It's his podcast."
He wasn't supposed to be on that one, remember?
I know.
I was like, all right, remember, because he something. Well, I forgot what it was, but he wasn't. It was just going to be me and Steven. It was this was just going to be the me and Steven podcast.
Yeah, and then he did it from the condo.
And very last minute, he hopped on, and I was like, all right. And then he also he
took over the show.
He did it a couple times where he was like, no, I'm not going to make it. And then fucking sure last minute, here he comes. And it's like, oh, here's Forrest.
Yeah.
Couldn't miss it. Bless that man. But with what we have in motion with the podcast, you know, ever since Desiree has come on, me and Desiree and Steven have come up with some really cool ideas, like what we were talking about earlier. So there's definitely a lot more to come. You know, we have not blown our loads with just fucking Ed and the Kevin and Brian or the Brian BARCZYK episode. Not even a little bit. We have a lot more ideas like that in store, but then we also, like I said, have a lot of cool guests we want to bring on that aren't typically like big fucking breeders in the game or anything, but shit, these are people that why not have their kind of insight on what they've been doing mentally with keeping their animals, like I think Steven or Desiree was saying earlier. But Desiree,
and, you know, send us some suggestions. You know,
yeah, exactly.
Leave a comment below.
I mean, when you Desiree, when you took off earlier to go take a leak, I have Marshall Mendez stickers, right? So I was telling people, whoever drops the most coolest comment for Desiree in this episode, I will send them a Marshall Mendez Red Mountain Herp sticker. Okay. If it's that cool, if it's really that sick, I'll toss in a shirt.
Ooh.
So we're gonna go ahead and then we're gonna let Desiree be the judge. Desiree's gonna pick. All right, that comment's the sickest. We'll send this fool a sticker, and if it's really that sick, and Steven's like, "Yo, it's that sick," then we'll send him a shirt. It's really up to them. So drop a comment. Okay, make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Desiree, what's your message you want to give to anyone who's kind of been in your position, right? So let's talk about how you were talking about going to school and then juggling, having to, you know, take care of animals. Well, like, you know, for instance, you have your Emily, right? Emily's kind of like in that position. She helps out. She goes to school. I'm sure there's others out there that are looking to chase a dream, like the Zoo Dreams. What's your message for them? What's good advice you could give them and kind of like help them mentally push through what they got to get through?
Well, I mean, just follow your heart, follow your gut. You know, if it feels right, then do it. But it's not for everybody. And I don't know, like I was skeptical of it, and like Forrest kept saying, 5 more years, we're gonna make it. So like he was building that dream, and then it did happen, and it is here. And so I'm really thankful for that. And definitely if you're trying to get into your first animal, like everyone says, you know, do the research, get the cage set up, have all your vet care needs lined up for the future, because you want to make sure you're taking care of them best you can. And volunteer, really. And that was the big thing Forrest said, you know, just get out there, travel, go see everything you can. Forrest was at every show. He had a Toyota Prius, and he would just drive out and, what's up? What do you need? Hold on. You know what?
On the message.
What you need to do now? Did you flood check?
This is what Desiree and Steven have to deal with.
Hey, send him in here.
Employees. Go ask Steven.
On our podcast, guy.
You're fine. We're fine. No, we're
not fine. Who is this? Who is this guy?
We'll put him on blast in here. We'll put him on blast.
Sit him on the couch. It says he wants to be on the podcast.
It's the second show in a row, right? That we have an employee interrupting.
It's two. It's our weekend staff who we really do appreciate. So
we're about to get hazed. So come on.
But
Come in here. You guys have interrupted the show. You got to be on now. Come in.
Yeah, put him on the couch.
Come inside.
No.
Yes.
Yes, you have to.
Because we're calling you out for interrupting the show.
I'm flying there in a week. If you want to deal with me, I'm telling you, you better sit there on the couch.
Oh, shit. I gotta change the audio so they can hear.
So Reese and Nick,
We're good. Don't worry about it.
Reese is the newest addition, and he actually was he's in college, and college is shut down because of Rona.
Oh, so you have time.
He reached out to us on the RepTek website, and he came here just because he's got support, and my dogs are gonna kill him. And thank you, Reese, for wanting to be part of the team.
Take the show.
Is that a Calvin Klein hoodie?
That's a Calvin Klein hoodie. Representing
Klein hoodie.
Anna, make him stop.
Anna, Daisy,
Podcast is getting out of control.
okay. God.
I gotta mute these motherfuckers, man. All right. Tell your employees not to interrupt. It's such a legendary podcast again.
Okay, yeah. So to finish what I was saying,
Go ahead, Doug.
you know, once the shows get back on track, I would recommend doing that and just trying to meet people and seeing as much as you can see, and maybe not, you know, buy a baby croc monitor for your first pet, but go visit one, go check it out. Like it's a very serious thing, and just know what you're getting into. And you know, if you're in a relationship with someone that's into reptiles and you want to support that, I'm all for it. Like, I don't regret anything. I still have my education, and I can still go back to that at any time. And I still plan on getting my RN license once Lars starts preschool and he's in school, you know, and I have a lot more time, and this is a lot more set up where I'm not having to be here all the time. And just having that as something that I can say, hey, I'm an RN, you know, that's cool. Like that's something I went to school for and wanted to do. But I definitely fell in love with this, and it's very important to me now. And I obviously was with Forrest for almost 20 years, and I want to just keep doing it. And I know he's looking down on me, and he's proud of me, and
Hell yeah.
I confide in him daily in my head, and I know he's proud. And yeah, just gonna keep going. And for all you kids out there, Novi, Emily, you guys are awesome. Just keep it up. Doing it. And
One more thing, Des. What do you have to say to all the wives out there, or all the significant others who are constantly maybe doubting, or not even doubting, but just questioning, like, yo, what the fuck is my man getting into, or anything like that? You know what I mean? Like, what's a good kind of advice you could give to them to maybe either cope with what they're dealing with, or like whatever? Because I know that's not, I'm sure you're familiar with shit like that. So
yeah. Behind every great man is the backbone, and that's the spouse or the wife. And just be proud. Be proud that you're supporting such an amazing man. And you know, if you're into it, get into it. If you're not into it, just support them, and know that, like, you know, they have all these ideas and they want to push them forward. And a lot of guys can't actually push that forward, but you can. And just be that support system, and just keep lifting them up, because the more you lift up your man, the more he's going to do for you at the end of the day. And the more supportive you are, the better for both of you. And I actually didn't really know who I was for a long time, and I was able to create this persona of myself through this community. And a lot of that was obviously with the help of Forrest introducing me to people. And you know, when he was out going to all the shows, I wasn't able to go. Like, somebody has to be here. Somebody has to keep the business running and keep feeding the animals, you know, managing the employees. So he was the face of the networking, and then started slowly bringing me into it. And I can say today that like my best friends are people in this community, and I don't have friends from high school from back home in South Dakota. Like my friends are right here that I'm talking to now, and people listening, and all over Texas, all over Florida, all over California. Like those are my people. And I'm just so thankful that even though I was kind of pulled into it, you know, however long later, it's who I've become, and I'm really proud of myself. So just keep supporting your spouses, and you know, like if you're terrified of it, it's a fear that you could get over, because these animals are amazing, and you know, they're not to be feared, and it's very therapeutic and rewarding. Nothing is greater than just spending a full day in the reptile room just cleaning, and not even doing social media. Half the time I'm here working, I'm not on my stories. When you see the stories, I'm not actually working that day. I actually have the time to sit here and film stuff and post stuff, but my biggest days are filled with just working with the animals alone, or listening to music, or being in these awesome environments. And yeah, just keep supporting your loved ones and friends, family, husbands, boyfriends, whatever.
Last but not least, lastly, because, I mean, one thing that I've been kind of getting interaction with and receiving is a lot of support for you, Desiree. Like there's so many people who fucking love you. Like, you know, people who bought in shirts and whatnot. Like they text me, you know, especially in the beginning. When you and I weren't really talking and whatnot as much, you know, I was getting all these messages on how great of a person you are to them and whatnot. And these, I'm sure these are people who you never even met, but that's just who you are to them, just off social media and stuff. But all your supporters, like, do you have a message to say to anybody who's always just like, who's there fighting for you and just supporting the shit out of you?
Thank you. Like a big thank you. I don't think I could have got through this without the support of this community. They've always supported us ever since, you know, we became more public, and we've had nothing but great things said to us. And you know, through my pregnancy, through birth and raising Lars, and when Forrest was here, like it's been nothing but positive. And like I said, it's who I became. Like I know my purpose now, and it feels really good. And I just want to keep it rolling. As hard as it is some days, yeah.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
You're trucking pretty good, Desiree. I'll tell you that. And I feel like I don't know, man. I feel like you putting your face out there and showing people that you're okay is making it a lot easier.
Yeah, I'm definitely not okay, but I'm gonna be. And
right.
I'm working really hard on myself. I'm talking to somebody weekly. You know, I'm definitely getting through it. And yeah, I lost my best friend, my soulmate, someone I met when I was 15, and he created this world for us, and he loved it a lot, and he groomed me to keep it going. You know, he said if anything ever happened to him ever, don't let it go, don't give it up, just keep it rolling, and that's what I'm gonna do. So
Desiree's sticking to the game plan.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Desiree. You're an amazing soul. You're an amazing fucking asset to this podcast. I love having you on here. I know Steven loves having you on.
It actually really helps. The first time I came on, most nights are really hard for me, and being able to do this really helped. So I thank you guys for asking me to be a part of it.
It's an honor. But guys, Desiree, I call her Desi because she's super sick of shit, and she's like, you know,
Desiree, whatever. I'm fine. Either way.
You have anything for Desiree, Steven, before we sign off?
Shoot, I don't know. I mean, we said a lot already, but you know, she's the driving force behind this place. Without it, you know, without her, it wouldn't exist in the capacity it does today, and it wouldn't continue to, you know, roll on like it does. So, you know,
thanks, Steven.
She's this place.
I appreciate that.
I think we're all excited for the future for Zoo Dreams, period. And we're excited to see what other sales Cold Blooded Cafe comes up with, because you never know what they're going to do to compete with competition, even though they're their own competition.
Competition.
You're your own competition.
What competition?
You're your own. I said you're your own competition. Can you let me finish?
Exactly.
Can I finish?
Right. $30 flat rate shipping. You know where to go. www.coldbloodedcafe.com. Freshest and the best, man. This was Desiree. Fucking Monnot in the building. Episode 20. She's the best. We appreciate you, Desiree. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Oh, yeah, next week. What do we got next week? We got some stuff planned next week, right?
We do have some stuff planned next week.
So I'm like talking about overseas type plans. Am I correct?
International city.
International city. And on that note, we will sign up properly and see you guys next week.
Adios, friends.
Blue face, baby.
This has been a good one.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye.